Iowa caucus about 25 days from today. New Hampshire follows a week after that. Two of the candidates, in fact, Jeb Bush and Senator Marco Rubio, holding events in New Hampshire at this hour. As the two jostle for position, attack ads are apparently getting nasty. Carl Cameron says that they are on the air about 70% of the time throughout New Hampshire already. And you're a month away, people. Bush taking a jab at his former friend in a tough new ad from his super PAC.
Days after the Paris attacks, senators came together for a top-secret briefing on the terrorist threat. Marco Rubio was missing, fundraising in California instead. 2 weeks later, terrorists struck again in San Bernardino. And where was Marco? Fundraising again in New Orleans.
Chief political correspondent Carl Cameron is live in Bedford, New Hampshire. Carl, good day to you. These men come from the same zip code. Set the stage for this battle.
It's been one of the subtext battles of the entire race for the last 2 years. People talking about how Jeb Bush, the governor, and his protege, the former Speaker of the Florida House, up-and-coming Marco Rubio, now a U.S. Senator, were going to clash, and they really are. As you just saw there, attack ads not just from the campaigns, but from the super PACs spending tons of money. It's supposed to be independent, but it seems to so closely knit with the way both candidates are beating up with one another. In the case of Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio, there are responses to each. Take a look at the response going back at Jeb Bush's super PAC and Jeb Bush with a super PAC ad that supports Marco Rubio. Watch.
Desperate candidates say desperate things, and Jeb Bush is desperate. His attacks on Marco Rubio.
Well, Jeb Bush has actually acknowledged that he may not be playing to win in New Hampshire anymore. It may be a battle between himself and the rest of the field that is not Donald Trump, to come in second to Donald Trump. And Jeb Bush, as we speak, is just literally 15 minutes down the road in Londonderry. We're here at a house party in Bedford. Here's a live shot, we hope, of Jeb Bush's town hall meeting just a couple of minutes down the road. And that is the nature of how this sort of trench war will be between these two men, both today and for the remaining month before the New Hampshire primary. It is much more intense here than it is in Iowa. The tone of the campaign is more aggressive. The tone of the campaign rhetoric from the candidates on the trail is. And as you've just seen, the super PACs are just blistering, Bill. Yeah,
and they've had their coffee already today, apparently, too. That's a crowded room there, Carl. Trump leads in New Hampshire. What does the Rubio team or the Bush team say about the chances of catching him?
Well, more importantly, the more folks we talk to at events like this, where people are both interested in Marco but just shopping around, there's a growing consensus, this idea that people are resigned to Trump winning because of the polls that have had him ahead in New Hampshire for so long. Which brings up an interesting point about polls in New Hampshire, and we've had it burned into our ears in the last couple of days here in New Hampshire yet again. Most people in New Hampshire get polled so much they stop answering their phones. Caller ID has made it possible for them to ignore a lot. And when you go to the town halls, and Jeb Bush will do this in Londonderry shortly, they'll ask him how many people have been called by pollsters. And half the room or more will put up their hands. Then he'll say, how many people answer the phone? And you'll maybe get one or two. Bill?
Carl Cameron is reporting live from a Marco Rubio house party in Bedford, New Hampshire. It's that time. Thank you, Carl. Talk to you real soon.